Welcome to Port Gellhorn. Now, obviously, I'm not in Port Gellhorn. I'm not in Grand Theft Auto 6 right now. I'm in Panama City, Florida. And the reason why I'm here is because a lot of the buildings found in Port Gellhorn, at least in the leaks and what we've seen in the trailer and screenshots, can be traced back to real buildings found in Panama City, Florida. Now, unfortunately, because a lot of these buildings are found in the leaks, I cannot show you any of the footage of those leaks because, they're leaks. And I would like to keep my channel active. Anyway, let's go to the first location because we actually have great luck here because I can actually show you the footage. It's from trailer 1.
But before we get to the first location, I have to give credit to the GTA 6 mapping community because without their combined effort, I wouldn't have been able to find any of these locations on my own. There's a Google map that has a ton of the buildings that we know about mapped to their real life locations, and that's what I use to find every single place that I visit for this video. So once again, thank you to the GTA 6 mapping community for finding and tracking down all of this data. A link to the map will be in the video description if you want to check it out for yourself. Anyway, back to the video.
I'm standing in front of what is the building that is seen at the end of trailer 1 where the big chase happens. There it is. This is going to be like one of the very few buildings that I can actually show you from the game because a lot of this stuff is going to be leaks, unfortunately. So we've gotten a good look at the local spin, but the better question to be asking is what's the area around it like? Because we know that this is going to be in the game, but let's take a look at the area because it's likely that a lot of the other buildings around here, they might end up in the game too. And more specifically, I think just the area in general is the vibe that they're going to be going for with Port Gellhorn. So with all these locations, I'm going to be taking a look around the general vicinity as well.
And before we move on to the next location, I actually have to come clean to you guys because I've kind of been lying to you. This first location at the laundromat and all of the locations we're about to see except for the final one are not actually in Panama City. They're in these smaller towns that sit right outside of Panama City. And I think that it's these cities that are actually much closer to what the description of Port Gellhorn is compared to Panama City and Panama City Beach. For the most part, these towns do seem like they've been forgotten, especially in comparison to the bustling Panama City. A lot of these buildings sat in areas that generally just weren't the nicest. But I'm sure that there are going to be buildings in the game that are from Panama City proper that we just don't know about yet, and we won't know until we get the game. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's once again get back to the video and our next location.
And now I've gone just a little bit ways down the road to what is Rodeo's Steak Pit and Seafood. Now this place is in the leaks, so I can't show you anything. And in fact, it's not even really visible in the leaks. It's just visible in the leaks via like some satellite imagery or something like on the map. So this could very well not even be in the game. So I'm not going to really show you much of it. I'm sitting in my car. It's hot out. It's hot out today. This is the best you're getting. Although I'm going to walk over here because there's a marina here, which looks really cool. So I just want to get some footage of that, I guess. And also there's a gas station here, so I think I'm going to go in and pee because I got to pee bad. This has been a big problem, by the way. I've been peeing all day, way too much. I don't know what's going on. There was someone in the bathroom. I guess this is a one-person stall type deal. And my next stop is at a different gas station anyway, so I'm just gonna keep going, keep trucking along. So I've gone across the road from Rodeo's and I'm now standing in a park, and I'm over here because this park actually has a view of the coastline, but not the coastline that you would typically associate with a place called Panama City Beach. Granted, we aren't in Panama City, we're in Parker, which is a little tiny town just kind of in the Panama City metropolitan area. We will get to Panama City Beach proper eventually, but for the most part, I think that these locations are a much better representation of what we're going to be able to expect to see in Port Gellhorn. So here we are. This is the Forgotten Coast for all intents and purposes. I mean, no one's here to swim. This is just a coastline. I mean, down the ways here, if you look far enough, you might be able to see where there's actual sand and a real beach. And there are people over there. I've driven down there. But for the most part, I think it's mostly locals here that are enjoying this coast. Now, that's not to say that there aren't more forgotten coasts in the area, because if I travel a little bit to the east,
I'll run into a city called St. Port Joe, and a little bit further is Apalachicola, which from what I've seen is meeting the description of the Forgotten Coast a little bit better than this, but these are where the locations are, and it meets it well enough. So while Panama City is definitely a tourist hotspot, these towns that are on the outskirts of the city definitely are not. Yet another location that is, you know, from the leaks. If you recognize it, you recognize it. If you don't, stay tuned, wait a year, I guess. I don't know. It's really hot outside. So I'm going to get back in my car because it's hot outside. Another strikeout for me at the gas station. Still have to pee. The gas station was out of order, so I'm just gonna have to stop at another gas station along the way. I feel so bad not paying for anything, so I got me this. I got a Nature Valley crunchy peanut butter granola bar. This is expired. I just bought an expired granola bar. This expired March 2025. That was 3 months ago. You know, I should have suspected something when I picked it up and it was dusty. That should have been a sign to check the expiration date. So yeah, honestly, my fault. That's on me. Anyway, on to the next location. We've got another place from the leaks, and this is Parker City Hall. And in the leaks, this building was actually red, so it looks completely different now. I don't even know if we're going to be able to recognize it now that it's blue. It might as well be a completely different building. But anyway, stay tuned. This building might be blue in the game. That'd be crazy if they fixed it, because now the in-game version is incorrect. It's wrong. It's broken. It's blue now officially. It should be blue in the game, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what was in the leaks in terms of this building, because as far as I remember, it wasn't really near anything terribly dense, unlike this. I mean, we're kind of smack dab in the middle of a very residential area. That being said, maybe some of these houses around in the area were taken inspiration from, and maybe we can see some of those houses represented elsewhere in the game. I don't know, but I want to take a look around the area, so let's do that. Now, like I said, this is a very residential heavy area, so I don't want to linger around too long or film a whole lot, honestly, but I mean, look over here. We've got just coastline. I mean, and we've got boats and stuff. It's a nice area. I like this. All right, I felt a little weird kind of walking down in just a residential area, a place that I don't live at. I'm sure people walk down there all the time though, especially clueless, lost people. Not that I'm that, I know exactly where I am. But anyway, I'm ready to get to the next location. All right, next up, we actually have a real thing that I can show you evidence of existing in the game. It's New Foundation Church. Yeah, New Foundation Church. The only problem with this one is that I actually am not very confident that I know where this is. Allegedly, this is in the Port Gellhorn postcard, and it's basically just this side of the building that you can see, allegedly, and a little bit of the back, but you know, like I was saying, I'm not really confident that this is the building. It's very hard to make out, and some of the lighting on this side kind of matches up, but again, it's just really difficult to make it out. So I don't know. It might be there. It might not be. This is the best I can do, because there's not a whole lot I can actually show you. So we're just gonna hope and pray and believe that this is it. It's all I got. All right, we're at our next location, but you know, unfortunately, this is from the leaks as well, so I cannot show you anything from this. But I mean, this is a very iconic building. We're at a church. I think it's the Springfield Community Church. This walkway over the road is just very unique and iconic, and I'm sure that we're gonna have no problem at all finding it in the game. I still have to pee really bad, so I'm really hoping that the next stop I can figure out a place to pee, because this place is closed, I think. I don't think they're gonna accept me as a refugee here at this church, unfortunately. It's also worth pointing out that this church is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the only thing around here is just like residential spots, and that's about it. But you know, that's not that surprising. But what I really want to know is what this is. I saw this immediately and I have no idea what this is, so I need to go and check it out.
It's just an outdoor fitness court. Not terribly exciting, really. I mean, I would go in there and like jokingly work out, but honestly, I don't even really want to do that. It's so hot. I feel like even if I do one fake pull-up, my head's gonna explode with sweat, and I don't really want to do that. But also, right by the outdoor fitness court, you have this giant, just long walkway, and it's kind of interesting to me because it looks like it just kind of leads to this power plant. It's called the Springfield Gardens. It doesn't really look like much of a garden to me, I'll be honest. Well, I've arrived at our next location. It's a car wash. This was also in the leaks, no big surprise there. And there's not a whole lot more to say about this other than it used to be a different color, it used to look different, and that's the version that's gonna be in the game. So don't expect to see this. So yeah, that's about it. But there's actually a gas station right across the street, so I'm gonna go over there and see if I can use the bathroom. I had finally done it. After hours and hours of immense pain, I was getting my release. A bathroom. Now, some may say that using the bathroom after a day of adventure is one of the greatest feelings you can experience in life. And I might agree with you if it weren't for the fact that after this, I found myself a granola bar that wasn't expired yet. And what better way to celebrate than by going through the car wash? How exciting. Here we go, here we go. Oh, this is fantastic. I don't know if there will ever be a better time than right now to enjoy the fruits of my labor. What do you know? That is not an expired granola bar. And because of that, it actually tastes pretty good, especially in comparison to the one that was expired that they sold me. Hi. Please don't fast forward. This isn't a sponsorship, kind of. It's a sponsorship for me, I guess, if that makes any sense. So it's probably no secret that this video wasn't really cheap to make. I drove all the way down to Panama City from Georgia, twice actually, to make the video. And I do want to continue the series, eventually ending up in Vice City or Miami. And as we all know, that also isn't very cheap. So I've gone ahead and introduced 2 tiers of membership for the channel. The first tier is $1.99, and it is just a basic help for the channel. But if you want to give a little bit more to help out, there is a second tier at $4.99, and if you go through that tier, you'll actually get access to the future videos in this series a little bit early. I don't know exactly how early it's going to be. It's not going to be any longer than a week, and honestly, it's probably going to be like 3 or 4 days. I don't know yet. We haven't gotten there yet. And in addition to getting all of this content early, your name will also appear in the credits of the future videos. But for both tiers, there's actually something for everyone. It is bonus material from these videos, and there's actually already a video out, just extra stuff that I shot while I was on the Panama City trip, and it's up there for you guys to watch. Only do this if you are able to financially. I don't want to put any pressures on anybody. But genuinely, thank you so much if you've watched this video at all. It means a lot to me. The support means a lot. And if you can't afford to financially support the channel, then a simple like on the video and a little comment, just say, hi, what's up, cool video, something along those lines. Anything like that will help out the video in the algorithm and help keep this video series going, because I want to make it to Vice City eventually. Help me get there. Let's do it. All right, back to the video. I wanted to very quickly highlight this massive water tower, and I don't know if you guys are able to see it. Hopefully I get a better shot of it later, but I mean, this thing is absolutely massive, and it says Panama City right on there. It's got this beautiful little design. I mean, it's got some boats on it. It's got a little pelican. It's got the sun. What's not to love about the water tower? And I only am showing this off because there's a water tower in the Port Gellhorn postcard. Not that this looks anything like it. It was just massive enough for me to want to pull over and take a video of it. So here it is. Anyway, on to the next location. We're moving on. Here we are at the final location. It's Mr. Maine's Pizza, but if you are familiar with the leaks, you may recognize it as Hank's Waffles. I'm a little confused on this place because it says it's open on Google Maps, but it is not open. The open sign's not on, but the TV is on in there and they're watching King of the Hill, if anyone's in there watching anything. A little disappointing. I was kind of looking forward to this. I was this was gonna be my final stop the whole day. I was gonna end it with a slice of Mr. Maine's Pizza, see how it stacked up. But that's not happening anymore. It should also be noted that Mr. Maine's Pizza is situated in Panama City Beach. We're in it, that's for sure. Because, I mean, right over here, we've got probably one of the most well-known tourist traps on planet Earth, at least in the East Coast beaches. We've got Alvin's Island right there. And then if we turn our attention back the other way, we've got another place. I think it's called like Surf Shack, Surf Sup. I don't know. But it's basically the same exact thing as Alvin's Island. But since I'm here, I figured we should go ahead and explore at least a little bit of Panama City Beach proper. Well, we know that there's going to be a Ferris wheel in Vice City. I don't think there's going to be one in Port Gellhorn, especially if we're going based on the fact that it's supposed to be a rundown and forgotten wasteland. Maybe there's a Ferris wheel that doesn't work anymore. Anyway, I've made my way over to what is called Pier Park, and it's just a giant open outdoor mall, basically. They've got a lot of random attractions, like the Ferris wheel I've just shown you. Anyway, I'm gonna go and walk around here. Let's see if I can find anything interesting here.
I've got to be honest, there wasn't really anything that interesting at Pier Park. Like I said, it's an outdoor mall. There's this one store though that just sold a ton of candy and it felt like the interior hadn't been updated since the mid-2000s. And then right next door to the candy store was a restaurant called Ford's Garage. I really wanted to stop in and try the car burger, but I just didn't have the time. But what I did have time for was a walk down the Panama City Beach street.
So, Panama City Beach is very clearly not what most of Port Gellhorn is going to be based on. It's going to be based on those cities that are outside and in the metropolitan Panama City area. So, I guess the question is, what parts of Panama City Beach will be in the game? And honestly, no idea until we actually see the game or get more information. But honestly, I could see a lot of the elements of Panama City Beach being represented, but just in a completely different way. You know, completely run down and dilapidated buildings, hotels that always have vacancies, you know, just a forgotten coast. Right now, Panama City Beach is not a forgotten coast, and it probably will never be a forgotten coast because people love this place. And with that, I think I've seen just about everything that there is to be seen in Panama City, at least all the stuff that's gonna end up being in the game that we know of so far. So with that being said, I mean, I haven't been down to the beach yet. I think it's time to go down to the beach. As the sun set, it's time for some honest and raw reflections on Panama City and Port Gellhorn, because I came into this thinking that the description of Port Gellhorn in relation to Panama City was not apt. But after spending the whole day here, mostly in Panama City proper and not Panama City Beach, I've realized that I think it's more accurate than than many people would like to believe. I mean, service that I've had in restaurants and places, not been that great. So, you know, even though it's supposed to be a tourist hotspot, a hospitable place, I have not felt very welcome. When I checked into my hotel room, the lady who checked me in seemed like she would rather kill herself than talk to me.
So I think I really needed to vent here because I just kind of kept rambling on for like 4 minutes straight. So let's just go ahead and skip to the end here.
I have never seen more Confederate flags anywhere else in my life, and I live in Georgia. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
Look at that sun. Look at that sun. Look at that sun. It's going to collide with the earth someday. It's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not even going to be 100 years from now, but it will collide with the earth, and we'll be long gone by that happens. By the time that happens. So who gives a shit?